Neko Paradise and Polar Ace South both have 6 wins apiece in ESEA Advanced Season 33. However, one of those teams will only go home, or will go home with 7, I should say. Good evening, everybody. My name is Ito, and I am happy to bring you Week 4 of ESEA Advanced. This is going to be a banger between a 6-1 Polar Ace South and a 6-2 Neko Paradise. Heading right into the action, knife round comes through, and it looks like Polar Ace Souths already are going to get off to a nice start and win that one. Right into the action we go. It looks like we'll see Tacitus picking up a kit as well as a little bit of utility for his team. A kit and double flash, everybody's favorite. Hey, Nubage, what's up? I'm excited to get into this one here, and immediately interesting play from Polar Ace South as they're stacking 4 people towards B with only Figment by his lonesome at B. He might not encounter trouble for a little bit of time because Bomb has been spotted alt mid, which means that Neko Paradise now have it all to work for here. Considering they've already dropped 2 players, make it 3, and they're just bleeding internally even outside of that. It's 2 kills otherwise, but that is one of the quickest rounds that I've seen. Wow. Well, not the quickest round I've ever seen, but one of the quickest full strat pistols. I mean, Polar Ace South just completely dominate in that neutral game. That 4-stack over towards A, absolutely perfect. And what that, I mean, that's one hell of a start. Really, I love the 4-stack that they had, and a player pushing an apartments down to C into alt mid really worked out perfectly for them because they did manage to spot Bomb, and that's so much information just given up. And it's something that Neko Paradise don't seem to want to repeat. They've now left Bomb, although Neko will pick it, or excuse me, NW will pick it up and actually burst up mid right as I say that. Swan watching over towards CT, takes down one and tosses a nade on through, but now it's going to be up to his teammates to try to take care of some of the slack. Blinken finds one, no problem with his Desert Eagle, but this is when the SMGs really start coming into play. NW, our player to watch, will just try to desperately run over to B, get the bomb down, but there are people chasing him. So he's on borrowed time. He realizes it as well. Toss a free shot out here. Get one with your Eagle, but there's more where that came from, and he's not ready for it. Sponge and Thorn got onto it on it. I didn't know Blast was live at all, Nubage. That's news to me, so no, I didn't watch it. I feel like I missed out. Neko Paradise unfortunately missed out on the opportunity to get bombed down. I mean, otherwise it was kind of expected. They just got picked away by those SMGs. And probably won't have better luck this time around either. Going to be going for an HE stack down towards the bottom of Banana, but they've already bled. Swan is able to find one, no problem, but the nade stack ends up bearing one fruit in the form of a kill onto Aura. It's one of their B players down, but, I mean, really, Polar Ace South are just playing this so aggressively that they want to go right back into the fray. Down Banana. Towards the bottom of Banana, we'll have Swan. Although his teammate has fallen, he wants to try to toss a Molotov out, but this has been so scrappy. 3 rounds now for Polar Ace South almost immediately, and I feel like Neko Paradise have not had anything really to go off of. They've just been suffocated every corner, every twist and turn that they make, immediately domed and immediately taken care of. That was no exception. I mean, 2 players pushing down Banana. Obviously, the first didn't exactly go their way, but despite going down a player initially, it's just easy cleanup for them otherwise. Polar Ace South make the 3, and Neko Paradise will now have guns in play. Hey, what's up, Tessie? How you doing? And yeah, Nubage, I'll have to check it out. Blast is starting up again. Neko Paradise look to blast up the A site as well. Molotov counters from Polar Ace South, so at the very least, Neko Paradise are expending, or getting the CTs to expend a lot of their utility, excuse me. And sometimes even do better. Killpo, perfect spray through the smoke, takes down Figment as he's trying to retreat over towards the top of Banana. Although there's a second player waiting in the form of Aura. We'll have to retrieve that kit most likely, but just kind of biding their time. Neko Paradise are still playing their kind of neutral game with a player in apartments. And one over towards alt, watching for any aggression because they know that Polar Ace South is most likely going to try to even up this advantage, but it's not going to work out. Aura immediately taken care of by NW. Now Tacitus will be alone on the B site. There's AB joining him relatively soon, but not enough time Neko Paradise will surely be able to take this wherever they want. A bit of a shaky spray from Tacitus still ends up netting them the kill, but they've completely dragged rotations over. Neko Paradise have the A site all to themselves. And now, I mean, it's basically a done deal here. 2 kits in play, sure, but no utility to speak of. Makes it so Neko Paradise are going to be able to get number 1 on the board. Yeah, that triple OT game was unbelievable. It just completely shattered my mental. I was not expecting that. All right, back into the game at hand. Hopefully we won't be seeing quad OT. But, I mean, Neko Paradise getting off to a good start on that gun round. They only lose a single player. Although, I mean, Polar A South, it was kind of a gamble that they rotated 3 over towards B, but I really felt like they had something going. Tacitus being able to find that kill onto Killpo. I mean, that kind of seemed like it would have been Neko trying to push into B, but there wasn't really the full set nades that we saw from the T side otherwise. So, unfortunately, it's just not the best read on the scenario. No harm done, though. Well, little harm done, I should say. Polar A South only lose 2 guns, and we'll be able to quickly rebuy those. Nubich says, more OT, great casting. Let's see 8x OT. Please, no. My poor heart cannot take that. Polar A South, again, investing into this one here. Figment still has an MP9 in play, so he has radically high expectations for the SMG. Swan, meanwhile, with an AWP, just looking out towards mid. Perfect shot on an unexpected NW. Leads it to an early 4 versus 5 in favor of the CTs to start things off hot for Polar A South here. AB, meanwhile, tries to spam over at apartments, tries to see if he can sweeten the deal anymore for the CT side. No luck just yet, but I'm pretty sure they'll do the job for them relatively soon. 3 CTs waiting on the A bomb site, while the entirety of the offense is now made its way over to Arch. Fully blinded, Swan is able to double up, find a second. He's going to make it 3 on top of that. Search for number 4, misses the first shot. Won't try to repeat just yet, but he's going to go for a duel elsewhere. Unfortunately, he doesn't win that one. Now Tacitus has to hold down A site. Swan has done his job. Now it's time for Tacitus to get into the picture, but unfortunately has no shot of it. 40 seconds as the T's are storming onto the A bomb site. They've somehow dragged this into a 2-on-2, and I think Polar A South now have a real challenge to deal with. Considering it was a 4-on-2, it's looking so solid, especially after that triple kill from Swan. The fact that it's just completely gone lopsided the other way is a terrible start for Polar A South. However, they're recovering. They're doing really well at it. Wilkie stuck in a 1-on-2, knows where one player is. Over towards Corfiti, you'll find the first, no problem, sure. But unfortunately, the spray transfer isn't quite a reality, and Polar A South will put themselves on 4 after a scrappy round. I mean, if you told me that this was going to end up in a 1 versus 1, or 2v1 really, if you want to get Neko Paradise involved, I would not have believed you. That triple kill from Swan should have been just the finishing blow to Neko Paradise in that round, but here I am being convinced otherwise. Oh, Nubich got his XL McDonald's. I heard McDonald's has like the best fast food coffee. I have no idea if that's true or not. I don't drink coffee, but trying to bring the energy otherwise. Neko Paradise tried to do the same over at Banana. Wilkie, unfortunately, cannot find one. Swan, however, has no problem of it. Immediately snipes down NW, and Ara still an SMG in play from the CT side. It's no longer in Figment's hand, but this time it's Ara, and he's going to be able to do massive work for it. An easy, healthy amount of money in his hand, and an extra 300 for Figment as he picks up 1. Killpo, down from a 1-on-4, gets into a 1-on-3. Quickly switch out to a rifle. Has a bomb and a tiny bit of utility to work with here. Double nades, or, well, I should say smoke and a Molotov. Makes it a little more palatable, but still a very hard clutch to actually try to win. Seems like he wants to go for it, though, considering that he threw away the AWP in favor of the rifle. But he needs to check all of his corners. I'm not sure if he heard Tacitus moving over into apartments, but the timing could really come back to bite him. Tacitus is the only player remaining over at the A-bomb site. It's important to mention. Tacitus is watching for it, though, and this could mean that Killpo's on borrowed time. He's checking his angles. Tacitus wins it, no problem. The FAMAS beats the AK, apparently, and Polar A South will manage to secure number 5. was a little worried for a second there, considering that, I mean, if Tacitus went down, that could have been a free bomb plant for Neko Paradise. And ESEA is one of those places where there's so many places where you have to check that if Polar Ace South, like, tried to rush to retake in a 2 versus 1, it could have realistically been possible for Neko Paradise. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be the case. They'll have better luck this time around, though. Swan, the AWP, who's been really causing so much havoc and trouble for Neko Paradise, has been immediately disposed of. Pistols in play for the most part from Neko Paradise. It was the Krieg that actually dealt the finishing blow to Swan. Neko Paradise have now stuck themselves in a really strong situation. A 3 versus 5 now, and soon to be even better, because Blaze coming out from the top of balcony will immediately just storm over the A bomb site and take down all the members currently occupying it. And a force-up gone perfectly well for Neko Paradise will get them the second. But my lord, what was that? Immediate just takedown from Neko Paradise. Once they found that immediate kill onto Swan, it was just... It's hard to say the round was done at that point. It was still 4 versus 5. Easily can come back. I mean, Neko Paradise nearly did it. Polar Ace South most definitely can, considering they're 5-1. 6-1 in the season. Oh, Lord. That's where the M4 really comes back to bite, by the way. Quick aside, Blaze. He's dinked down. But unfortunately, the kill can't quite be finished. That's why I keep on mentioning that one headshot potential whenever a player gets tagged down a bit, because it really can make a difference in a time like that. Unfortunately, no gun save from Polar Ace South. But what I was trying to say is that Swan went down immediately. Tacitus had no better luck with the AWP either. And Neko Paradise were just able to wrap around the A-bomb site and take all the duels that they wanted. And came out on top of every single one. So it's a bitter feeling for Polar Ace South to lose a round in that fashion. And this most likely will be another one given to Neko Paradise, considering that Polar Ace South only have a couple of upgrade pistols and very light utility to speak of. That's to be expected. You see how this crossfire at mid is set up with Tacitus having a flash at the ready to try to make some magic happen. But no steps heard, and a contact play seems to be in the works from Neko Paradise, with bomb slowly making its way over. Figment is watching and dies immediately. Quick on the trigger will be NW. The site belongs to Neko Paradise, and so does the round. It's his courtesy from here on out. Allow Neko Paradise to get the bomb down. CTs will set up towards the bottom of Banana to try to get some exit frags. But I think it'll just be payday for Blaze as he looks to take down all 4 and add some more cash to his pockets. Great flash through from Tacitus. Allows the CTs to make it up close and personal. And a couple of kills go through. Or I should say only a single kill from the CT side. Other than that, though, it's looking pretty dominant for Neko Paradise, as they're only going to most likely siphon 1 player, not even a second. That's Neko Paradise making it 3. So they officially win that follow-up round, despite the best efforts of the CTs to try to pick off some guns. It's not too terrible, considering the minimal investment from the CTs. This next gun round could decide all. It's not going to come here, though. Again, more upgrade pistols in play. Polar Ace South didn't quite juice out the money that they wanted from that one, nor did they get to save any guns or anything like that. So they're still hurting a bit on cash, and they're going to go for something a little bit strange. Aggressive player in apartments while the rest are sacked over towards B. Tacitus, again, has double flashes at the ready. Flash towards the top of Banana, and Kilpo gets 2 before he falls, so he's not exactly dazed nor confused at the flashbang. Neko Paradise, now they have a good read on the situation. Most likely expect the rotates to come happening through A, but Figment has retrieved a bomb, and the T's aren't watching for it. Figment and Tacitus are actually able to find 3 kills out of the just brink of nowhere, and somehow are now favored to win this round in a 3-on-1. Wilkie has to do it all, but the CTs are quick approaching here. Figment with a Krieg looks to make it a quad, as he has gone massive this round. Gone massive so far this game, and there you have it. It's done and dusted. Polar Ace South, how do they steal that away? That's unbelievable. I can't believe that player in alt mid, I can't exactly remember who was watching it. But, I mean, Figment not only was he able to get that initial one, but he just peeked down towards the bottom of Banana, looking towards alt mid, and there's just like a little bit of a fumble from Neko Paradise, it seemed. And we all saw how it ended from there. Early utility. Setting up into the standard positions. Aura will have a nice little Molotov at the ready in case they hear Neko Paradise trying to quickly close the distance. This is the utility set for the CTs to retake top Banana. Neko Paradise realize it. We'll back off slowly. Still very much out of neutral game right now, the T side. They've been really good at least trying to get some of this information or map control. He has definitely treated them a lot better than the B bomb site has, though, and I think, or I thought, I should say, that would influence their decision making. But Neko Paradise want to give B another shot. Figment and Aura will be at the ready with a rotate coming quick from Swan. Unfortunate timing makes it so Figment, although he does keep his life, he isn't able to get the kill that he wants here. However, Aura has no problem of it, and Figment through the smoke is actually able to deliver in spades. Picks up Blinken. 3 on 5 now, and maybe this is looking sweeter and sweeter. Neko Paradise, again, they haven't had the best luck at B, but they're looking to try to change the tides of this war, this battle that they're currently facing in round 10. Unfortunately, it's not looking incredibly likely. They do get the bomb down, but this initial frag doesn't go their way, nor does a follow-up. Swan is actually able to capitalize on the opportunity perfectly. Wilkie dies immediately. It's a 1 on 5, and they can just easily overwhelm the AWP. A quick 7th for Polar Ace South as they are running away with this game in the first half now. Neko Paradise, again, they did get that bomb down, and they nearly have the full loss bonus coming through. They're not exactly going to be, like, hurting for money. They're going to be able to buy for, I mean, knowing how good the T Eco is. If they keep up getting the bomb down every single time, they'll be able to buy for rounds to come. Easier said than done, though. Neko Paradise can't seem to finish the job. That was a flawless retake from the CTs. It's Polar Ace South now on the verge of officially winning this half. Look to completely bury Neko Paradise right where they stand. Where they stand right now is that they want to go for an A execute. They have the map control for it as well. Blinken is in his usual perch over at the top of balcony, looking for aggressive boiler. Oh, Wilkie actually eats a little bit of spam. AB gets damage on the board before he even has to see a player. Tacitus at the ready over towards Archside. Swan, his position is being compromised quickly. Unfortunately, shots missed makes things a little bit tougher. Tacitus is still lurking behind the smoke. Same story with Swan. AB finds first blood, but it's also drawn from NW as well. The T's are trying to collapse onto the site, but they don't have the shots to exactly finish it up. Polar Ace South are coming out on top of these trades every single time. Although Blinken tries to change the headlines, it's still a 2-on-2. 2 kits in play and a decent amount of utility. It's looking awfully similar to what some of these past scenarios have been from Polar Ace South. Bomb will get retrieved over from Pit, but this will allow the CTs, excuse me, to close the distance a little bit. Figment perfectly in position, takes down Blinken. Now it's Wilkie. Poor little Wilkie all by his lonesome. 20 seconds left. Could he? No, okay. He's just trying to go for the elimination death at this point here. The bomb was dropped, and so have the chances, the percentage of him being able to win this round. Get retrieved. Won't even be able to get the bomb down. Something that Neko Paradise have really been able to have some comfort in. Is that, again, they've been able to get the bomb down so many times now, and that extra $800 in your pocket really does, make a difference. It can make or break like a full execute onto a site. And unfortunately, that's not something that they can unfortunately call theirs. What did I do, Nubage? I don't remember saying something that funny here. Kilpo. It's a funny play. He just contacts immediately up towards Banana. That's a play that you'd only see work in matchmaking, and it works perfectly. Still, though, Neko Paradise at a man disadvantage. They're just trying to quickly rush into the A bomb site, but the trades are in favor of Polar Ace South by a decent margin now. The only player with a dominant rifle found, and although one has been picked up in the form of Blaze, now things suddenly get a little bit interesting. I thought it was going to be over But I didn't realize Blaze was going to be able to pick up that M4 completely uncontested. If he could win this fight with Figment, things can get interesting. Unfortunately, nothing interesting. Polar Ace South improved to 9. I guess it goes all as expected at the end of the day. It was good attempts, but unfortunately, the eco doesn't quite work. That first kill was kind of funny over towards the top of Banana, though. I guess the CTs just weren't expecting a player's hold W at them. Try to get a kill. You know, you gotta expect that. Those 3 players stacked up over towards Banana for Polar Ace South, and Kilpo just quickly has to retreat. He's already down to 40 HP, 10 HP. This utility damage has been so, like, suffocating from Polar Ace South. I'm gonna take a quick look at the scoreboard after this one and see what it's at, because I feel like every single time they've just been getting tagged out entirely. Banana control now seized from Polar Ace South, and NW will also eat a bit of shrapnel. Pushing up towards mid, Neko Paradise are slowly starting to group up and want to take it over. Tacitus will be holding in the cubby, but Swan will be first contact. Finds one, no problem. AB has a flash to bail his teammate out in case things go just a little bit awry, but Tacitus will not allow it 1 inch. No space given in Neko Paradise as they're just being all shut out. The trades are just absolutely flawless from Polar Ace, round in and round out. Although Wilkie finds the first, again, it's traded out over and over. I said dazed and confused. Man, it's just one of my favorite phrases, man. Dazed and confused. I like it. I remember first seeing it, or first hearing it, and really like wanting to add it to my casting repertoire at the DreamHack Winter 2014 when the Smiths boost, or the, excuse me, Olaf Meister boost, and it's like Smiths is looking dazed and confused, and really that's how you can describe how Neko Paradise have been on a lot of these T rounds. Like, are they going to be expecting Tacitus pushing down towards the bottom? Banana, it seems like Kilpo is, and a second here. Neko Paradise just might have found their key to victory in this round here. Swan's going to have to go massive, but he realizes that it's not exactly the most winning scenario if you have to rely on your Opera going huge. He'll give it a second shot, though. Give it a second go. Finds one towards Arch. Not quite the second that he hoped for. And now Neko Paradise have made the A site their oasis as they look to get the bomb down, force the situation, and make things even tougher for Polar Ace South. It's looking primed to be a 4th. As it comes down to a 1-on-4, Figment realizes there's no chance of it. He'll get away with a Krieg, a noteworthy gun to run away with. It's terrifying in the hands of a counter-terrorist, and I mean, so many people are bailing the site. Theoretically, if Figment could take down Blinken here, he could go for a ninja. He realizes chances aren't exactly likely. He somehow managed to Metal Gear Solid his way into his saved weapon. Oh, it's a 4th for Neko Paradise. Ooh, don't run out too much now. Figment spots, chooses to hold his fire, and will be awarded handily because of it. 4 rounds now for Neko Paradise. Definitely not the strongest T-half by any stretch of the imagination, but if they can make it 10-5, it's workable. It's definitely workable. We've seen crazier comebacks happen, and you know, I'm sure it's not the end of the world for a team like Neko Paradise, who has 6 wins and are looking for number 7. Fortunately, though, it's the exact same story for Neko Paradise. 6 wins, want to make it 7. Look at this. Utility comes out, and Kilpo doesn't quite eat the shrapnel that they want. AB down to a single point of health. Hello there. When did that happen? AB is going to be on borrowed time, a liability for his team, you could even argue. Now it just has to be forced into some of these awkward headshot angles as Figment has fallen. It's looking really great for Neko Paradise now. They could easily execute onto either site that they want and make it theirs. They seem to have better luck at the A-bomb site, as I believe I mentioned before, and it seems they've started to catch on as well. Blinken will set up for a smoke over towards Archway, or excuse me, Arch side, I should say. Swan doesn't give up the ghost just yet. Avoids a bit of spam, tosses out a bit of a healthy grenade, excuse me. Neko and Blinken Tag to about half each. Again, that's a one-shot range for those M4s, and that's really important because AB is holding down hay barrels, so theoretically, he could take down 2 here without even having to give up his position. The wrap comes through. Killpo's already, well, ready for it. And this becomes significantly tougher for Polar Ace South. First one falls just like that. AB, no chance of it. Aura and Tacitus all falling one by one. Neko Paradise, it's a flawless execute onto the A site. And most likely a near flawless finish to the half. However, Aura wants to make things interesting still. Obviously no reason not to go for this retake here. Neko Paradise are playing very passive, giving Aura the respect that he deserves. He's been a menace so far in this game, but it's a menace that will be easily taken care of in a 3 versus 1. So Neko Paradise are going to be able to make it 10-5 at the half, which, considering that it was like, 10-2, I don't think it's the end of the world. I mean, that's not too shabby. Quick halftime break before we head right back into the action. I want to keep an eye on the statistics and see who's been doing the best so far. I really feel like one of the big things that has made the difference for Polar Ace South, at least in this half, is that utility time after time, round after round. Finally, towards the end, it looks like Neko Paradise weren't getting fooled by it so much. I mean, I think back to the very last round where Polar Ace South had that double nade stack for the top of Banana, and I think it was only like 9 total. So they ended up getting a better read on it. Nubich says it best. They're not Zaiwu. And that is a clutch that you can only expect of a player of the French origin. Second half now underway almost immediately here. Neko Paradise. They're going to be going for something a little bit interesting on the CT side. You see that they have a kit and smoke. That's not too out of the ordinary, but a 5.7, you don't often see these being bought on a pistol. So I like the thought of it, and I want to see if it can actually work out in their favor. Meanwhile, Polar Ace South seem to be setting up for a very neutral setup. They've taken alt mid for the time being. But Apartments is completely left open. Push comes through over at mid. 4 players from Neko Paradise are waiting while only Killpo's at B. So Polar Ace South might want to go ahead and try to wrap around CT, but Wilkie will look to thwart that plan as soon as it begins. He finds one tap, no problem. Rotate's not going to come through from the CT side, though. They know that a wrap is going to be underway, and it makes things very difficult now for Killpo, who's going to be alone on the site, stuck, relegated into church, but he has to be praying that he can get these kills. Finds one with a 5.7, and maybe the 5.7 was a good investment after all. He's going to be able to get the first with just a single tap. Now the rotates will come on immediately from Neko Paradise. Retake begins. Blaze has a kit, and right now it's just got to be a day at the shooting range. Bomb immediately falls, and now this is one sticky situation for Polar Ace South. They're just getting immediately obliterated. Figment will have better luck at it, though. Finds one behind the fountain, but bomb needs to be retrieved. If Figment can force a bomb plant here, things could get interesting. But Neko Paradise realize it. We'll just try to close the distance. But Figment, wait a second here. He almost made that very, very scary and almost somehow got away with that. Luckily, though, Blaze will ground them to reality. And it's nothing more than just a little bit of imagination. My Lord, would that have been a dream scenario for Polar Ace South. Unfortunately, the second pistol round evades them, and Neko Paradise will make it to 6. But not without a couple of hiccups, that's for sure. I cannot believe it. He even made it that close. That was almost terrifying. I'm still on that high. Neko Paradise are going to be riding that high all the way too. But considering how close that was, keep in mind, if you look at the right side of your screen, you see that Polar Ace have committed a ton of money into this round. They're scraping the bottom of the barrel just so they can put everything together. 2 Glass Cannon Desert Eagles, but Figment full armor and a Krieg, and then Aura with an AK full nades. I mean, Polar Ace South can make this one scary execute. It's the same story for AB, I forgot to mention. He also has full nades as well as an AK and full armor. So, I mean, when it comes to your actual heavy-hitting players, this is technically a 3 versus 5, but Tacitus and Swan are no slouches either. If Polar Ace can break Neko Paradise in this round here, that could mean really, really big things. Neko already not off to the best start. NW is going to be able to, or is going to eat a little bit of spam before he backs. Relegates his position. Now, Polar Ace South are waiting for a bit of aggression. It's not coming, though. The CTs are just going to go ahead, sit on their laurels over towards site, because they know taking these fights versus Polar Ace South is one dangerous challenge. Flash Cubby and a Smoke Archway, and the push begins from Polar Ace South. They're being awfully diligent with their utility usage. AB wants to go ahead and try to entry in, but are they going to be ready for this triple stack waiting on site? Blinken is found, no problem, but a perfect flash through makes things so difficult, and it's just a massacre on the A bomb site. They're all falling one by one. In Neko Paradise, they avoid the scare, and they get out nearly flawlessly because of it. Ara's the only one to draw blood at all on the side of Polar Ace South, but otherwise those MP9s just completely wreak havoc. Almost another T-side pistol Figment 1 versus 4. It was close effort, seriously. I'll have to look at that highlight though, because that was almost absolutely absurd. Unfortunately though, nor the follow-up, or the pistol round, nor the follow-up works out for them. Neko Paradise have almost evened things up here. Polar Ace South are going for something way more aggressive, though. They've already taken up apartments. Neko Paradise won't force their hand just yet. They don't want to try to evict them from apartments. They'll do that themselves. They've already left it, leaving AB all by his lonesome. Instead, have to start doing a little bit of a conga formation towards Banana. Just try to get this bomb down. It's a right read on the situation. A player over towards Flower Pots and another in Wilkie. Just over, a few inches below. Rotation still not called over. If Polar Ace can somehow win these duels, that could be a free bomb plant for them. However, it's looking awfully unlikely for them. A TK comes through, but the hardest of decisions require the strongest of wills. Wilkie, he technically aces that round, I suppose you could say. He gets a 4K, plus he just takes out his teammate for good measure. Neko Paradise. Another clean one from them, as the pistols don't quite do the work for them. But perhaps the Kriegs will. Full investment again from Polar Ace South. This time a lot better looking. Standard default in play. You notice that Neko Paradise have decided not really to upgrade just yet. Don't want to bring out those M4s. I guess those MP9s have done them just fine. Why upgrade? Why spend the extra money if you're just going to pop off with an SMG nonetheless? Neko Paradise. They've been really good with their utility usage so far. Been sparingly tossing out grenades and such. Polar Ace South. Speaking of which, eat a bit of shrapnel over towards the top of Banana. Resmoke comes through, so Polar Ace South are able to punish some of this early utility usage from Neko Paradise. But really, I love these setups that they have going. You see how Blinken is currently set up on top of Porch right now. This is one of those positions that can theoretically easily be taken care of. Polar Ace are watching for it, but the angle is just a bit off from that apartment spam, so it will be a free kill for Neko Paradise, no problem. A refrag through. And it's going to be eventually ending up in favor of Polar Ace South. I say this because although it's a 3 versus 3, the A site should definitely belong to Polar Ace South, and they're going to make it so. Rotates can come on through as much as they want, but they're taking their sweet time on actually executing to the A bomb site. Instead, want to bring it over towards B. That is something interesting here. Neko Paradise might be wise to it. Kilpo has second thoughts about dedicating over to A. So Polar Ace South, they want to take both sites here. They're not fine with just one. They want to get double the action. Double the flex on the CT side here. They've divided their fights perfectly. That's no problem. The smoke goes down over towards construction, and Kilpo needs to go big, or he needs to go home here. He's gotten the bomb down. Now there's not much time to spare. They need to get it down. Oh my god, there's no time. Oh my god, Neko Paradise, how? How do you win that round? What? Wilkie, he doesn't even have to do anything. The push through the smoke from construction gets a bomb planted down, and there's almost no time to spare. Why didn't Polaris South immediately go for the bomb plant? They had time. There's still like 5 seconds left. That's unbelievable. Neko Paradise get away with theft as they steal that round away. It was looking so good from Polaris South. They had so many opportunities to win that one. They could have taken it A. They could have just, watched construction. I mean, hindsight's 2020, but my lord, how did that... Oh, man, that must hurt. Unbelievable play from Neko Paradise. Nets them the round. And I say that full well knowing that it was Killpo all the way. That push through the smoke was absolutely perfect and got the only kill that was needed. Resmoke comes through. Polaris South have to feel definitely a bit bitter about that one. A round taken away from them. Back to the neutral game we go. No bloodshed yet. Just a very light tag onto Figment and Swan and even Tacitus too, but it's peanuts. It's not going to make them within one-shot range or anything fancy like that. 3 players from Neko Paradise dedicated over to the fight at B. It's a perfect read on the situation here. Polaris South get ready for their setup. And as they enter in, Wilkie, Killpo, and NW will all be ready for the cause here. Killpo wants to keep up that reign of dominance that he had and put Neko Paradise up on 10. And he's looking primed to do it. Set up towards second oranges at the moment. A flush out through CT allows Polaris to get up, but NW and Wilkie will strike in kind. So is Killpo, and there it is. It's a massacre on the B-bomb site. It's a flawless one. Neko Paradise don't lose a single player. Call that pause, Polaris, because you're going to need it. Neko Paradise are just getting away with it over and over and over now. You can even see a little bit of Wilkie shaking his head up and down. He knows that his team has to be feeling it right now. Polaris South, this most likely isn't going to be the round that they're going to get another one on the board and take this lead right back. It's even Stevens. And Neko Paradise are looking primed to make it number 11. They've been flawless on the CT side so far, shutting down these force-ups and these full buy rounds from Polaris South, and look to kind of up the momentum. Take it one step further. Polaris South, still will the pause through. How long this is taking, I'm not sure if this is actually a technical pause. It might be, because it's taken awfully long for a call for tactics. Either way, though, Polaris South seems like what's on the menu for tonight is upgraded pistols and lots of utility. Utility galore. But the forecast is looking awfully rainy for them in round number 21. It's not very welcoming, the sites that they're going to have to go up against. Neko Paradise has everything that CT side could hope for. An AWP, 4 rifles otherwise, 2 of which are AKs that you stole from fallen terrorists. Polaris South, what do they have to show for it? Light util and a P250. Pause should be done relatively soon, but I mean, I don't exactly have the highest of hopes for Polaris South in a round like this. I imagine the pause is being called for Tacitus since he is currently on 151 HP. Nubich says, what happened to my co-caster only one time? Co-casters really just kind of come and go. Just like if they in particular want to cast with me, I say like, hey, yeah, come go ahead. I'm up. But a lot of the times if people don't hit me up, I just kind of do it solo. Which I'm fine with because, everyone's trying to build their own brand, I suppose. Co-caster is nice. It takes definitely a bit of pressure off of me, but I understand it's not exactly the most realistic thing to be able to get all the time. I'm just trying to improve my personal casting and trying to make these games as exciting as I can. Taking a look at the scoreboard real quick. Wilkie, only player over 20 kills. 21 and 12 has been doing incredible for his team. But my God, after some of those rounds, like I saw Kilpo just pushing through the smoke over towards construction. My Lord, was that just unbelievable. Loki has definitely been the player of the match, but Kilpo's breathing down his neck. Neko Paradise keeping things competitive. Still, a pause comes through. There's only so much you can do to keep it interesting at a time like this. If it takes much longer, I might just toss it to some music as I try to wait it out, but maybe we can take a closer look at some of the stats and see who's really been impressing. Even after like 20 minutes or so of tech pauses, the pros cut to it. Yeah, I mean, sometimes there's just only so much that a player can talk or a person can talk about. I think it's interesting to note, by the way, speaking of statistics, I'm looking at the ESEA site, and NW currently highest on his team for Neko Paradise when it comes to RWS. He's at 13.11. He's only third highest fragger on his team. Not that frags matter much. It's a game far, far like different than just being about kills. But it is interesting to note. It's all even Stevens. Let's see who else has been surprising me. Figment, again with that near 1 versus 4. Oh man, that would have been insane to see. Then we have Swan. Wow, Swan's actually has the highest ADR in the server, interestingly enough. Has 97.95, so nearly 98. Really making life difficult. Richard Lewis is playing Kerbal Space Program? I remember him mentioning that a little while back, that he wanted to do some other like variety games. I remember there was a couple of games that he avoided playing just because it brought up bad memories and stuff like that. So glad Kerbal Space Program is still a game near and dear to him. He's great, and wish him the best of luck, because this is definitely not the easiest time of his life, but lots of respect for him. I think I'm just gonna toss it to a quick break real quick here. This has taken a bit longer than expected. Tacitus is still well over 150 ping. Shouldn't be too long though. I'm going to keep it in game. I'm just going to go ahead and try to listen to some music. That way I don't wear my voice out. Oh, okay. Well, that's perfect timing. Right back into the action we go. Looks like we don't need to toss it to... Wait. Oh, no. It's a repause. I just got debated. Well, never mind. Back to the music we go. Hopefully I don't get faked out a second time. I'll see you soon. It shouldn't be too long. I feel like I'll be seeing you very, very soon.
Playing with temptation, searching for salvation. Can we find our way back, way back? Caught up in confusion, need a resolution. Can we find our way back, way back? No more running, no more running, no more chasing. No more running now, I'm running out of patience. Caught up in confusion, need a resolution. Can we find our way back, way back? Searching for salvation. Can we find our way back, way back? Caught up in confusion, need a resolution. Can we find our way back, way back? No more running, no more running, no more chasing. No more running now, I'm running out of patience. Caught up more running, no more running, no more chasing. No more running now, I'm running out of patience. Caught up in confusion, need a resolution. Can we find a way back, way back? Can we find a way
I always said it wasn't going to be too long, and this is exactly why. Right back into the action we go. Neko Paradise versus Polar Race South. It's all tied up 10-10, and hopefully all these issues have been fixed, and hopefully a player like Tacitus can get healthy, get right back into the server towards the top of the boards where he belongs. Even if you don't pop off, that's massive. He's been setting up his teammates perfectly, and this is no exception. Right up towards Arch side they go. Blaze will be ready for it, though. He's going to be easily find up 2 kills. Make it a triple over towards Porch. Actually, it's NW sealing the kill with a USP, and this is a given round for Neko Paradise. Or, yeah, for Neko Paradise, excuse me. Although they bleed 1 player and makes things a little bit interesting. This is kind of the result that you expected. I mean, Polar Race South weren't really given a lot of tools to succeed. Just considering they don't have nearly the amount of artillery and firepower that Neko Paradise do in this round. Unfortunately, it's just going to end that way too. AB does have an M4, but surely he's just only going to be able to get exit kills at this point here. They're expecting his presence at mid, and wait a second. AB will find the first, and he hasn't been traded out. They know that there's a player in Cubby waiting. But if AB can take down just that poor player in NW, it could have been a very close one. Unfortunately, it's not meant to be. And Neko Paradise will take the lead for the first time in this game after a pretty unfortunate 10-5 half. Neko Paradise seem to have found their footing as they stay flawless on the CT side. However, and I say this often, their next big pitfall arrives this round here. Round number 22 can really decide the big pace and really dictate what's going to be happening this game here. If Polar Race win this one, then they're right back on the track, being able to take this one here. But if Neko Paradise do, I mean, Polar Race will start running out of rounds that they have to really wiggle their way back into this one here. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the line by any stretch of the imagination. Don't get me wrong, but it does become considerably more difficult for this this part on, I suppose. And what is this? Tacitus is setting up for a, I believe that's a coffin grenade. I remember seeing Majisk use it. Or it might be a CT nade. It looks like it's set up to be a CT nade. Indeed it is. Oh, I like it. Good read on the situation. They know that Neko Paradise have really fancied their luck with boosting players on top of flower pots here. However, it's not the gig this time around. It's Wilkie and Kilpo dancing around smokes right now. Full wrap comes through from CT, and they're not ready for it. Kilpo's caught off guard. Wilkie kissing Aura in the smoke right now. Holds his fire. He's a bit too high, unfortunately, to take the bomb planter down. And because of that, Polar Race South are going to be given a bomb plant plus a free frag afterwards. 2-on-3, down from a 2-on-4. Neko Paradise are fully committed to making this retake happen now. There's still time for them to back out. But that is starting to shrink as Blaze just pushes on through. NW will find a second. Wait a second here. I think Neko Paradise could have a decent chance at this. Unfortunately, Blaze doesn't want to make it so. It's NW all by his lonesome now. 1-on-1. Doesn't have a single clue on where Swan might be. Has actually a good read on the situation here, but Swan will not falter, will not miss his shot, and will put Polar Race on 11. He goes up with the bomb. It's an expensive, it's a costly round for both sides here, and we're right back to a pause. Man. Another one. I'm not sure if this is tactical or technical, but Polar Race are right back in this one. And this is what I said. It's if Polar Ace can win this next gun round here, it can really dictate the pace of a game. I feel like we're going to be seeing a full game on our hands. Theoretically, we could see full 30. Polar Ace South, despite coming out on top of that win, will still really struggle economically. They didn't get to save any of that money. All their guns went up in flames with that bomb. And you know, exactly, Moe Chilla says it best. Moe Chilla, that round does hurt them. Although the T economy is really, really good in this current meta, it's just not really going to be good enough to stave off Neko Paradise and how much money they've been able to build up because of their flawless 6-round streak in a row. Some of the rounds which have been more dominant than others. Polar Ace South, excuse me, will try to make up as Neko Paradise desperately try to cling on. They get off to a great start. NW with the sniper picks up one immediately, puts Aura out of the equation for the time being. A wrap through onto Arches seems to be the next in the playbook for Polar Ace South. Arch smoke through alongside a Molotov from a player in CT. Neko Paradise still though can sit comfortably. Minute line crosses, but still man favoring the side of Neko Paradise. I just love saying that name. Or is it Neko Paradise? Because I know it's called Neko Para. Either way. They're looking comfortable at the moment here. Could be even more comfortable if this pop play works out better for Blaze. He spots one. Bit of a whip on the spray. Luckily, NW is able to pick up the slack. It's just a clean sweep. Neko Paradise don't even get time for me just to really hype up how clean that was. Neko Paradise, like, sure, we're watching Blaze there, and he, you know, wasn't able to get that spray onto the Balk player or anything like that. But it's just Neko Paradise just completely obliterate. NW is really, look, there's a reason why he was one of my players to watch. I love his knife name. Unrelated, but that's a very nice knife name. And this little player will try to make some big plays with the AWP. Pistols in play from Polar Ace South. This definitely isn't going to be the round to decide it all, but the next gun round that's going to be coming up from Polar Ace South is really probably going to determine the outcome here. However, Polar Ace South can still deliver and do just fine on a pistol round like this. They found 2 entry frags, and suddenly Polar Ace South are looking perfectly primed to take this one. They'll get the bomb down, still flawless, and Neko Paradise are just going to give up the ghost. Save their guns. Fight for another day. And just like that, Polar Ace South, on a round I was not expecting them to come out on top of, are going to go out flawlessly if things keep up in this fashion. Wait, how did that work out? Talk about a comeback. A pistol play of all rounds seems to be exactly what the doctor ordered to get Polar Ace up to 12. And I was already getting so ready to say, yeah, this is probably, you know, this next gun round, if Polar Ace loses one, it's the end of the line for them in this game. No, they're still in this one. Fighting tooth and nail. It's 12-12, all evened up. This game seems to be going the distance. Has all the signs of it. Neko Paradise, though. They've consulted a doctor themselves, and they're going to try to find the right remedy for this situation. Double snipers in play with Blaze instead opting for an MP9. Aggressive play into apartment seems to be on the cards. NW scopes early on. He's going for his best nifty impression. But this will have to be a pretty nifty play from the CTs if they want to get away with much of anything here. Off to a good start, though. Early tags onto Aura and Swan. Puts them at, again, that one-shot potential. I keep on saying it, but it still rings true round after round. It looks like Polar Ace South want to set up, for those HEs, that HE stack that has treated them so well. The entire party is over towards CT. Wilkie just obliterated. Eats so much shrapnel. It's just a free lineup kill post. Speaking of lineup, gets a double, and it's a TK coming through. Aura takes down his teammate in the chaos of things, and Neko Paradise, despite having an unhealthy breakfast of shrapnel, still look favored to take this one. It's Aura versus 3 makes it down to a 1-on-2, and actually has a lot of information on where these two remaining players could be. Unfortunately, the fight can't be divided, and Neko Paradise will survive. Polar Ace, unfortunately, just it's a bit too scrappy as they're easing their way onto the site. They get the bomb down, so they are going to be able to buy. But that's all that they're really going to be able to write home. The buy isn't even going to be the most confident either. Keep an eye on the T's. It's going to be someone having to really deal with the bare minimums. It's Tacitus who decides to, take the back seat, I suppose. A little less utility than everyone else. But excuse me, Swan will have an AWP. Newbridge says, I love that nade setup. That's so cool. It is really cool. I think Astralis have used it before. I'm thinking back to, I believe, a Blast event or something where Magisk was on top of the wall and he tossed an HE towards CT. It's also a really good angle to nade the back of Coffins. It's not something I don't think is completely unseen, but it deals perfectly with the CT player. It was the best thing that was working for them in that round. Unfortunately, the push, not quite the same caliber as that amazing nade setup. Still, though, some good things to take home from both sides. It's not the end of it yet, though. Polar Race could easily make things evened up again. It's not looking very likely, though. NW, still the quick marksman, strikes again. Makes it a 4-on-5, soon to be a 3-on-5 as he continues it. Picks up a second one, this time on Aura. No refrag potential through. Tacitus relegated to a position over towards mid. Swan will slowly ease his way up. The next challenge comes at the form of the player in Arch, Blinken. Neko Paradise are starting to wrap their way around. Blaze drops. Polar Ace South are not wise to it, though. Oh, this could be a disaster. Although Tacitus jump scares me, I'm not going to lie. I even shook when I saw that. Blaze just sneaks up from behind. He finds one. And that is most likely a done deal. 10 seconds left. Neko Paradise can sit on their laurels and just take it from here on out. 14, Polar Ace South. The time ends up being their biggest enemy in this one. They drop 3 guns, and although Tacitus is able to upgrade to an AWP as he makes the A site his home, it's not good enough to secure them the round win. It's everything that Neko Paradise could hope for. It's a paradise. Unreal. Definitely keeping up the momentum so far. Again, this was a 10-5 at half in favor of Polar Ace, but really have not had the strongest showing on the T side to really match just the level of expertise that Neko Paradise have seriously just outplayed them at every turn. It's unreal. And really, the man spearheading it all has been the now top fragger on Neko Paradise, NW. And I thought we were just going to see more action, but again, the elusive double pause always comes back to strike. I don't know what all these pauses have been about. I don't think they're tactical. I think they're technical. I mean, I know at least that very long pause that we saw earlier was pauses, or was a technical pause, but it really is, again, momentum. And maybe that's what Polar Ace South need. Maybe they need to kill some of the momentum that Neko Paradise are just riding a little bit on. However, nothing seems to be able to stop NW at the moment. 25-15. He has had a crazy game. Has single-handedly won rounds for so many rounds, excuse me, for Neko Paradise. Rounds so good it makes me fumble over my words. Something I can't say NW has been doing with his op. He has not been missing, it feels like. Perfect utility usage from the CTs as well. Tag comes through. AB is burning alive in this molly too. He thought he was safe in the smoke, but unfortunately, he's not safe and sound. And he's down on 32. He's bleeding internally. Now, on life support, looks to try to entry up over on the Arch side. Watching for it though, Even Stevens. Trade comes through. It's a 4-on-4. Resmoke will give away what Polar Race are trying to get going here. NW ready on the AWP. They check library for the first, and they look around, and it's NW again. Has so much attitude. As he picks off a double, trades favor Neko Paradise, and it's just going to be a clean sweep, it looks like, from here on out. Tacitus will try to make things interesting, has the time to do it, but unfortunately the shots aren't there. NW is just a menace on the sniper, a triple kill. As he puts Neko Paradise on 15, wants to improve them, to that 7-1 record in ESEA Advanced, and they're only one round away from doing it. This is unreal. Neko Paradise have just been stomping on the CT side. Only 2 rounds for Polar Race to show on their side of the coin. Utility damage again. This time, I was saying that it was so suffocating from Polar Race when they were on the CT side, but Neko Paradise have seriously one-upped them. Early tags for days. Tacitus hurting at 71. Now he's within one-shot range again of those M4s. I keep on bringing it up, but it keeps on ringing true. Now Tacitus is bleeding even more. He's down to 17. The push begins over towards B, but this might be the last thing that Polar Race can say in this round here. They will be able to get the bomb down most likely. They have that to go for. Retake surely to come in soon from Neko Paradise as Aura is tagged down as well. Tacitus out of the picture. It's a 4 versus 5, and this is just doomsday for Polar Race. They're barely clinging on for dear life. If they can ride this round out, maybe they can make things interesting. The bomb is starting to tick a little bit more and more. Retake Molotovs come through. It's absolute hell on the B bomb site, but it seems to be favoring Polar Race South. They're making this work. They're going to bring us to a 13 most likely. The bomb is so far ticked at the moment where Kilpo just has to stick it, but Aura doesn't want to let that happen, but he's still on the bomb. It's not good enough though. Polar Race South. That was one of the most chaotic retakes I've ever seen, but it seems to favor the T side as Polar Race South will just scrape by the skin of their teeth to put themselves on 13. Pause is called yet again, but the South squad survives on to 29. I said this game was going to deliver, and this is exactly why both of these teams are so hungry for an improved record. Want to get onto that 7. Another pause coming through. Neko Paradise, they have to save in this one here. Look at their money. They're so poor. They can upgrade some of their pistols, sure. That's no problem. But they're going to have to be playing against 14. Polar Race are on the brink of bringing this to overtime. It's up in the air, and it's anybody's game. Surely this is going to be a free one for Polar Race. Some of the free rounds that they've gotten have been the saves from Neko Paradise. But they want to close it right here, right now. Wilkie over towards Sandbags all by his lonesome. Kilpo will have a flash at the ready, but Swan, why is he looking to entry with an AWP? This is hella risky, and unfortunately the play doesn't quite work out for them. Quick 4 versus 5, and oh, this is a disaster already. They put a sniper in the hands of Wilkie, the top performer on his team, or not even the top performer, the second top performer, I should say, of Neko Paradise. And if they can put that into NW's hands, it might just be good as over. Polar Race South now have to drag this back into their favor. They're down a man, but they're not out of it by any means. 3 players over at A. Polar Race South will be walking straight into the trap that Neko Paradise have set. Blaze can't find anything. Can't juice out any more money out of these teams, but Blanket is! He finds 2, strikes blood, but Kilpo and Wilkie will now be stuck in a retake here. That deagle was massive, but not massive enough for Neko Paradise to run away with the round just yet. Safe plant is now in order from Figment here as he gets punished, but doesn't get killed. Oh my lord, he gets it! The first kill is through. It's down to a 1 versus 1. Who could have thought with a buy like this from Neko Paradise that it would be down to the very, very brink of things here. Wilkie spots and knows exactly where Tacitus is. Tacitus is just bleeding so much. He's on 19 HP. Wilkie, he gonna get it! Unbelievable! How does he run away with that round? How do Neko Paradise run away with that round? It's 16-13 at the end of the day. What an upset! Neko Paradise somehow pull it off on an eco of all rounds. A 1-on-2, Tacitus, this could do nothing about it. He was hurting. He was barely making it through, who's on life support, but somehow Neko Paradise are going to be your winners of this match. 16-13, but it could not have been closer. Unbelievable sights from both sides. What a crazy game. That was one of my favorites that I've watched in quite a while. Unfortunately, this will be the last of me, Noobage. I'm not exactly the best day right now. I'm a little tired and just want to take things easy. But, I mean, what one hell of a game that was. Neko Paradise are going to take it. NW, undeniably, don't even have to think about it, was my player of the match. What an incredible game from him. 28-17 with 95 ADR. Kilpo, second. Actually has the highest ADR, but he's my second man, I guess, to award the player of the match. I have to still come off of that high that this match provided me with, but I am going to call it for the night. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Ito, and this won't be the last you see of me, but maybe for tonight. I'll be here tomorrow, probably with some Flashpoint closed qualifier games. We'll see. There's still more time. We'll see. Have a good night, and thank you. And if you guys enjoyed, feel free to drop a follow or even to Twitch Prime if you're feeling really nice. If not, that's cool. I just hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see you soon.